morning. Today is Monday, May 16th. The year is 2022. And I'm sitting here. It's in the morning time. Amazingly, this is the first day I really got to sort of use my kitchen. Well, second day I made some coffee. So I've been waiting on my appliances to come, which should be here this week. So I'm waiting on appliances and, just been turn this phone down. Been taking my time working on, turn this thing off. And you get older, these phones get more confused. I like to flip the switch. Silence. So I've been taking my time, working on some stuff here at the house, but this morning is going to be a massive cleanup over here. We've winded down a few things, and since I'm not going to paint for a few weeks, it's time to take up all this paper and get this dust up out of here. A lot of what they're saying at the mud for the sheetrock. I want to take this paper out, dispose of it, and clean and vacuum and little stuff, all the fun stuff that comes on in the old raggedy house. This house was built in 1972. I was born in 1970, so it's a 50-year-old house. So that's a positive thing. Like I say, I love the sunroom here. You can see all the beautiful windows here in the sunroom. Lamp. Drop a phone. So the sunroom has got the skylights. This room was probably one of my favorite parts of the house I was looking forward to when I looked at this house. I was so looking forward to using this room to shoot videos. I see myself seeing a lot of videos out here. And that's what I've been trying to do. I'm going to try to shoot more videos now that things have winded down here. The last few months have been kind of hectic. Working on the house, getting it done. My original goal, of course, was always to purchase a multi-family unit home in South Florida, which have allowed me to Airbnb it and work in that area of Florida and go kind of back and forth between Atlanta and here. That was the goal. Of course, when I went down to South Florida, there was 10 million people, and everybody named Mama had the same goal that I had. But I was relatively shocked about the amount of people I met who came out of New York and New Jersey who were moving into New York. I met New York, New Jersey, Boston, Philadelphia. There were quite a few people coming out of those areas at these open houses that I went to in South Florida. And 90% of them were spending cash. And I'm looking at these with such a large group of people, and you have to ask questions like, what are you all doing here? Where are you from? Why? And they like, well, we want to buy this property, and we want to live in one of the units, and Airbnb the other one. I'm thinking, we all had the same idea. Then I realized, okay, this ain't gonna work. First off, you have a large group of people who have cash to spend, and we're bidding and outbidding, overpricing each other on these houses. No one should be trying to buy a house and get into a bidding war because it's just going to make the home more expensive. There was no bidding war for this house that I'm sitting here now. Nothing. Mainly because it needed work. And remember, I told you this house had a strong odor to it because it had been sitting here for so long. And so we were able to eliminate the odor just by opening up the doors and the windows and working on it. Just getting in here, getting the ventilation going again. And when you own a home, you can't just mothball a home and not have the heat and the air on because houses will still tend to, like sponges, they will hold an odor to it. There's still some areas like the garage tends to be a little bit stinky out there, but I think we're going to have a solution to that once we paint and remove a few. I wanted to tear out some paneling that's in the garage area and remove the insulation. And then the other guy, one of my contractors, said we don't have to do that. We're just going to seal these walls with this odor paint, and it will seal up the walls, and we don't have to worry about removing the insulation because that insulation may not actually be holding on that kind of odor in that garage anyway. But again, it has come down so much that, just by getting in here working and cleaning and living and doing normal things in the house that people do, besides letting it sit here and bake in the sun. But I look at a home as just have to be prepared to do a lot of work. Every day I wake up in this house, there's something to do over here. You better believe that. There's a lot to do over here. Anyway, yesterday I talked about this young man who went and shot up in Buffalo, New York, and shot and killed 10 people. And there are several news articles about him. They even posted his name. He's 18 years of age, and he had stuff on the internet. And we all have to kind of wonder, what enters into a person's mind? Why are so many young white men, this has been going on for a little while, so caught up in gun culture and wanting to kill people? And we've had so many incidents down in the United States where they've been going into schools, grocery stores, Walmart, restaurants, and just shot and killed everybody. And somebody said something about some black guy that was years ago somewhere in New York, New Jersey, somewhere, or Washington, I don't know. I couldn't remember that story, but I can tell you of many instances of these crazy white boys that went on the loose and grabbed a gun and started shooting and killing everybody for no reason. And so the grocery store where that man went into, from what I read or heard on the news, this was a store that was open in an area that had been neglected for years, and it was a food desert. And this grocery store only came in there, and they built a beautiful grocery store to help that area have fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff that we take advantage. And we all know that in certain areas, in certain black neighborhoods, that there are a lack of grocery stores. And, when I was out looking at homes, I looked in certain neighborhoods and I said, man, we got to go 15, 20 miles just to get to a grocery store. Where I live at now, I jumped up this morning, I didn't have any coffee. I jumped up, ran up the street, got coffee, was back in less than 10 minutes. There's a brand new Publix grocery store right down the street, just less than 5 minutes away. Not walking distance, but I could drive there pretty quickly and come back. The other neighborhood I lived in prior to living in this home, the last townhouse, the grocery store was right across the street. I had walked over to that grocery store before. I wanted to live in a neighborhood where I could walk to stuff, but the prices were too damn high. In fact, yesterday I went to the house music at the park in Piedmont Park, and as I was walking we parked on, a friend of mine, we parked and we walked towards Piedmont Park. We passed a brand new house. And I said to Alex, I was like, how much do you think this house was? He was like, I don't know. I said $1.5 million to $2 million is what I was thinking. Mind you, this house is beautiful, brand new construction in Piedmont Park, under contract. So I looked the house up on Zillow. The house was $3 million. I thought to myself, ooh, Lord, everybody's been run from this sucker. That house is $3 million, and let me tell y'all something. Nowhere near as nice as my house. I walked around the house. There was no open spaces, no big sunroom, no grand spaces. Of course, it was right near Piedmont Park, but $3 million? Good Lord, it's only a 20-minute drive from me, from my house to Piedmont Park. That's all it took. We stopped and grabbed a burger along the way. I mean, I would love to be able to get up in the morning and go walking in the park, but $3 million? I thought to myself, these people didn't lost their mind. It was under contract. So some people can afford this stuff. I don't know who can afford $3 million. It must be some celebrity. It must be Needy Leachman brought a house in the city. Who knows? But anyway, back to this crazy man who went into this store in New York and harmed that community. And he got out of there alive. He had planned on going to another store up the street and doing the same thing. They're learning that he had been plotting and planning this for a while, and even had been questioned by police because of something he had wrote on the internet about his school. So what makes these young white guys have so much hate in their heart against somebody you don't even damn know. Because think about it, this man didn't know these people. He didn't know any of them. These are not co-workers or friends. He didn't know none of them. He just didn't like them niggas. He didn't like black folks. Just didn't like them. You know. Anyway, yesterday we went to the house music in the park. And while I was there enjoying the house music, this is an event that they have twice a year in Atlanta. It's a beautiful event at Piedmont Park. It was nice to get out of this house and get down there and be amongst the people and see some stuff. And there was some white people who had just stumbled upon the festival, and they started dancing and having fun. And I just asked them where they were from. They were from Germany. They were just visiting. And they said they didn't even know anything about this festival, and they just jumped in there with all these black folks, and they were enjoying the music, and they were having fun, and they were dancing, they were having drinks, and they had bars, you can go buy drinks and stuff. The interesting part is they didn't just because they're not from America, they saw a festival going on, they heard good music, and they just came over and had fun. They were enjoying the music, enjoying the people, enjoying the crowd of people. There were kids dancing. They were different, What I'm trying to say is they didn't have that hate towards a group of people they didn't know. They didn't grab up a gun and come down to Piedmont Park and shoot these strangers, these black folks I don't know who had a festival dancing. They just came in and had fun. Something's wrong in this country. When you look at Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump, and all these white conservative racist idiots who keep stirring this pot up and stirring up this trouble, and they don't even see the harm that they're doing. Something's wrong with this country. Something is inherently wrong with these people who and this has been going on since before I was born. They don't even view us as Americans. The vast majority of and I hate to say this, maybe I could be wrong, but they don't even view black people as Americans. And we are all born and raised here in this country, been here. My family been here for centuries. But we're not treated as such. We're treated as foreigners in our own land, an enemy to be killed. I know racism exists, y'all. It's all around us. I've encountered racist people before. I have. I never forget years ago I was at a Target in Tennessee buying something, and the woman didn't want to touch my hand. She just wanted to set everything on the counter. I don't want to touch. I don't know, and I thought that was kind of odd and weird in a way. She didn't want to touch somebody black. I thought that was kind of strange. Maybe it was just me. I tend to ignore that mess. Somebody had made the comment that South Florida go down. When I said I was going to Florida, I said Florida's racist. Well, every time I'm going down to Florida, and I've been there on numerous occasions, I've been around Cubans, I've been around Hispanics, I've been around, to me, they're just Spanish-speaking individuals. But I don't even speak Spanish. But I've never had an issue down there with those people. I've never had an issue down there at New York. I went to a Cuban bar a few years ago and just walked in, and I was by myself, and I was just hanging out, and guys welcomed me, and a group of guys, and they told me, come sit with them in VIP, and I hung out with them, and I didn't know these people from Adam. I didn't know any of these people. In fact, we hung out with them and drinking, we were laughing, having fun, and and then when they left, they wanted me to go with them someplace else. I couldn't do that because I said, I don't know y'all folks. I'm going back to my hotel. Because Earl was at the hotel. I'm in South Beach. I have no idea really where they were going. I don't know Miami that well. I said, nope, thank you. Come. Nope, thank you. I enjoyed this. I'm going back to my hotel. I ran my ass back to the Fontainebleau Hotel and got in bed. But something about white Americans, not all, but many of them view us as the enemy. There was an incident that took place when I was buying this home that kind of left me uncomfortable. I'm not going to go into the details of it. But let's just say someone who was involved in the transaction looked at me as a big black guy, wondering, who the hell are you and why are you buying this house? And began to raise questions. Why do you care? This individual was supposed to come here, unlock the door, and let me and I forget who I was with, that I was meeting at the house, we needed access. And this person was supposed to come meet us here and unlock the door. But I was with somebody. I was with a painter. I was with someone, Hispanic, one of the Hispanic guys I've been working with. And this Caucasian has questions about me as an individual. You don't know me from Adam. We just met. You're supposed to be dropping off a key and getting your car and going about your damn business. And she went back and began asking questions to another person involved in the transaction, Earl there. So I said, Earl, what are you talking about? We just went over there and unlocked the door. I didn't say shit to that bitch. We walked into the house. She unlocked the door. We walked on into the house. What is she talking about? Well, who is he and what is this and what is that and what's going on? And what? Why would you be concerned about who I am and what's going on? That was kind of disturbing to me because people ask questions like, well, who is he and how is he buying this house and does he not know it needs work? I know very well this house needs work. That's what we in here looking at it. You crazy heifer. It makes you wonder about people. And to be honest with you, I'm going to walk away from this house and say, I won't be bothered with that damn crazy heifer. Let her keep that damn house sitting over there because shit, I can go get me something else pretty new where I want it. But it's something I got to go in there and work on. But they don't view us. Not all. They don't view us as human beings capable of purchasing a home. Now, when I was in Florida, and I was meeting those real estate agents, let me tell you when one agent called me and said, hey, Mr. Hampton, I didn't get a chance to deal with him. He was I met him at somewhere, and I was telling him I was looking at a house. Oh, I met him at the mall. I went to Aventura Mall, doing some shopping, and he introduced himself just out of the blue. Said he was an agent. I said, I'm up here looking at a house, but I wasn't having any luck. So on my way out of Miami, he called me that morning and said, well, hey, I know you're leaving today, but I got an offer for you when you get ready to come back here. I'm going to fly you in. Let me get you a ticket, fly you in. This is what a real estate agent in South Florida, down in Miami. I was telling him I was trying to looking at some homes down there. I didn't have any luck this trip. And he said, well, you get back home, call me because I'm going to fly you in. I have an Airbnb. You can stay at my Airbnb. I'm not going to charge you anything. So he was going to give me an airline ticket, go fly me in to stay at his Airbnb, give me transportation and show me around to some places down, especially because there's something offer. I wouldn't be sitting in the damn house now. Because I was exhausted at that point because I didn't know my way around. I was dealing with a couple of agents and it was just not what I was expecting. But this was a full-time real estate agent. Didn't know me from Adam. I want to say Cuban or Hispanic. He knew what I was looking for. And he was like, come on back and let's sit down. Let's find you something here. And I have friends and family members who have homes. I want you to meet them. You will be welcome here. Come back. I didn't go back because I got back here and got involved with this mess. But I should have stuck to my dream of getting out of Atlanta because I'm sick of this place. And I still may do something like flip this bad boy over here and run my ass to Florida. But I didn't run into this guy who was probably Cuban, possibly Hispanic. He didn't ask me for any money. He wasn't asking for any money. He was just saying, come back. I'll put you in my Airbnb. I'll get your ticket. Come down here, spend some time. Let's look around. I want to show you some stuff that you might really like, the areas of Miami that you haven't seen. Let's find you something. Let's make Miami your home. Welcoming. Unlike this heifer that was over this situation. Who is he? What's he? What? How's he doing? Here's a funny person. I don't like going into all these details because sometimes you have to just put stuff behind you. But the individual who was working on my loan called me after, and he said, listen, I do a lot of loans for multi-million-dollar homes. Your loan is very small. I was in the scheme of things. He said, you can afford a house way bigger, more expensive. I said, I don't want nothing expensive. And he just said that every time I'm dealing with a black American who's buying a home and I represent them, this was just a loan officer. He said that at the bank. And he just said that he gets these phone calls from people who are involved in the transaction, questioning whether the person buying a home is qualified and can really close on his house. He said, he never gets these questions from his white counterparts. But every time he's at a black American as a client, he expects these phone calls. As soon as they find out the person's black, all hell break loose. It's kind of like when the woman came to show us the key and she realized it was a black man. She didn't even know who I was. And if I hadn't told her my name, she's don't Googling my name and going on Facebook. It's like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Why? Why do you care? You don't even know who I am. I'm just here. You're supposed to unlock a door and let us in so we can look around. It's weird. But that's how it just, and not all white folks die like that, but I know y'all right. Well, we love black folks. Yeah, I know y'all love black folks when they way across town and not living next door to you. I know how that shit work. I done lived in white neighborhoods before, trust me. When I lived up there in Buckhead, and white folks were not welcome. I did not get no butt cake and welcome to the neighborhood. And 20 years ago, I said I'd never go back that direction. They were not very friendly up there in Buckhead. He a drug dealer. What? The same crew and contractors I had working on this house worked on a home I purchased in Buckhead over 20 years ago in 2001. Them white folks couldn't wait for me to roll off that property, drive away. They come over there and talk to the contractors. At the time, my contractor was working on the house was kind of new to America. He only been in the United States for a few years. But he would come back and tell me, Walter, let me tell you they were asking all kinds of questions. They would see me leaving. They come over there. I know how they get down. They were not very welcoming. They don't, not all. Racism in this country, racism exists mainly from white Americans who feel like this is their promised land. Although we've all been sharing this country for centuries, we live here too. What that young white man did at that grocery store, he did it out of hate against people he didn't even know. Every time we see these incidents where these young white guys go into a church or Walmart or a restaurant or a Waffle House and to harm and kill black people they've never met, they haven't had any run-ins with, they don't know their names, and they get away with it, and they live to see the next day. It's very odd to me. They live to see the next day. Delane was in jail someplace. Hopefully they are raped and assaulted on a regular basis. One would hope. Anyway, my coffee's getting cold. The incident up there in New York kind of pissed me off. Now they're showing the victim's face. It's just like what happened at that church a few years ago. When that white boy went into that church, sat down and people prayed with them, Bible study, everything, he gets up and started shooting their asses. Where was Jesus? Ooh, get me started on that one. Well, now that I'm back to regular, trying to do videos on the regular, which I'm going to, that's the goal, is to constantly do regular videos. I see workers pulling up here now. You're lucky I was able to get this in. Life is a journey. Y'all better make the most of it. Oh, so yesterday when I was down there at the music festival, house music festival, house music brings back me so many memories from, never played music from like the late the late 1980s and early 90s. That's a long time ago. 30 years. 30 years ago. And the memories always flood my head about what Atlanta used to be like, the Atlanta I used to love, when you could get in your car and drive down the street and not have no to worry about being shot and killed or, traffic or getting booted and towed and all this other stuff. Now when I venture into Atlanta, it's like, okay, you make sure you park someplace safe. You don't get a ticket or get booted or towed. You're going to get robbed on your way back here. It's a whole other world in Atlanta. That's not like it used to be. And the house music brings back those warm memories of a place where I was a young teenage kid that showed up, didn't know nobody in town, and all of them in 1989, and I met thousands of people literally and was welcomed into the city. It's a different world now. But anyway, I just wanted to state that the House Music Festival was great. It was good to get out of the house and enjoy that. Anyway, today is Monday, May 16th. The year is 2022. And I'm out of here. And I'm going to do another video later on. So you all enjoy your Monday. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day.